Suspect of a woman's murder in Port Arthur is in police custody. 33-year-old Denisha Buckner was rushed to the hospital in January. At first, her mother was told she died of an overdose, but she was later told doctors found what they believed to be a gunshot in her back after Buckner died. More than 2 months later, police issued an arrest warrant for Norbert Freelow Jr. Freelow turned himself into authorities last night. This follows an investigative story Daybreak anchor Mark Armstrong did in January. We pressed investigators for answers after Buckner's mom said she was frustrated with the lack of communication.
It's like it's no pressure being put, no kind of things to show us that, you know, they're trying to get to the bottom of it or, you know, solve it.
Freelow is charged with murder. He's being held in the Jefferson County Jail on a bond of $1 million. Police haven't given a possible motive.
On Norbert Freelow Jr.
And I just have 2 witnesses.
Okay, come on. Y'all can come on up. We'll do it. Y'all can come up here. We'll do it, and you can.
That's fine. Thank you, y'all.
Unless you think we need to do it more formally. Let's see how it goes.
No problem.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Norbert Freelow Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Freelow is charged in cause number 25 DCCR 0366 with the offense of murder, offense date of January 18th of 2025. Mr. Adams has filed an application for habeas corpus seeking bail reduction. Looks like the bond is currently set at $1 million. Do you intend to call your client?
No, ma'am.
All right, you may call your first witness.
Yes, Miss Nicole Freelow.
Ms. Freelow, if you'll come up, please. Mr. Freelow, if you'll just kind of back over just a little bit. And ma'am, you could just stand here by Mr. That's good, right there is fine. Ma'am, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, ma'am.
All right, will you state your full name for the record?
Nicole Freelow,
And where do you currently reside?
1490 Alice Drive.
And, I'm sorry.
Beaumont, Texas.
And what do you do and how are you employed?
I work at the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I've been there for 21 years. I'm currently a correctional officer. I was previously a teacher.
All right. The gentleman to my right, who is he?
My husband.
And how long have you been married?
We were married for 10 years. We were married for 10 years. We divorced and recently got remarried in July.
All right. And how long has he been a resident of Jefferson County?
August, like that I know of.
And how old is he?
52.
52 years old. So lifelong a resident of Jefferson County. For purposes of the factors regarding bond, he has lifelong ties here to Jefferson County. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
As far as family support and lifelong ties to Jefferson County, he has several people behind me to my right.
Yes.
Right? And who are these individuals?
I have one of my best friends. I have his sister, his mom, his dad, his brother, one of his friends that he worked for as a trucking company. And I have my brother back there that he was this year also too.
All right. So for purposes of addressing the $1 million bond, did you make an attempt to reach out to some bonding companies regarding this particular bond?
I did.
And I show you what's been marked as Defendants Exhibit 1 and Defendants Exhibit 2. And these are letters from United Bail Bonding Company in Nederland, and then Allied Bail Bonds.
At first glance this looked like just another tragic overdose, but what doctors discovered changed everything. A hidden gunshot wound and a new suspect flipped the story overnight. This is where the real investigation begins.
And that would be in Beaumont. Can you identify these two?
Yes.
And are those letters that you actually secured from these bonding companies, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you secured these letters on $1 million bond, what would be their fee to make $1 million bond?
$100,000.
Do you or Mr. Freelo have $100,000 cash anywhere?
No, sir.
Do you have any property that could be sold for $100,000?
No, sir.
Do you have any friends or family members that would be willing to loan you $100,000?
No, sir.
Could you go to a lending company and they give you $100,000?
No, sir.
Our show has been marked as 1 and 2 to opposing counsel.
No objection.
And I ask it to be admitted in evidence.
1 and 2 are admitted.
All right. Now, in terms of his ability to pay, I show you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 3, and I show you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit number 4. Defendant's Exhibit number 3 is a 2024 tax statement. All right. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, sir. My husband was hired to be my dad's caregiver. My dad was a veteran, and he had a stroke last year in February and was bedbound, never did recover, and we had to get hospice care, and we had to move in with him. We had to have 24-hour service for my dad. I work currently. My husband had freelance. He would be like do mechanic work or buy, sell cars and sell. So in return, I asked my husband, would he be my caregiver for my dad so I can go to work and provide, and that's what he did.
Okay. And then Defendant's Exhibit number 4 is Manifestation Home Health Care Inc. And you can tell us what that is.
It's a check amount because that's what he would get paid. They would pay him 4 hours a day at a rate fee to a week because that's all he would qualify for, and the rest was on me because that was my husband. And I feel like it was a blessing for him to take care of my dad. And to sacrifice his finances and his thing, I made sure my husband didn't eat anything because I know he got paid.
So the long and short of it is according to this W-2, his gross income for last year, I see $2,560. Is that correct?
Yes.
I ask that Defendant's Exhibit 3 and number 4 be admitted in evidence, showing his income.
No objection, Mr. John.
3 and 4 are admitted.
All right. You identified several individuals here in the courtroom, but in addition to that, to establish his ties to our community, we secured several character letters from multiple individuals, right? And these are what we secured. I asked you to look at Defendant's Exhibit number 5, and their character letters from different family members and people in the community. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
All right. Are you asking the judge to consider the character letters that we got for purposes of whether or not he's a flight risk, safety to the community, and any ties to the community?
Yes, sir.
All right. I offer Defendant's Exhibit number 5, which
No
is
objection.
with all this is character letters, Your Honor.
5's admitted.
All right. Now, as far as whether or not Mr. Freelo would be a flight risk, one of the factors is the nature of the offense. And as far as the nature of the offense, this has involved the death of an individual by the name of Denisha Buckner on 1/18/25. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. To show that he's not a flight risk, are you aware that he himself voluntarily gave a statement to the police on that day?
Yes, sir. I was with you.
$1 million bond, that's no small number, but what determines that amount? It's not random. Judges weigh flight risk, danger to the community, and the seriousness of the crime. So, is this bond fair or excessive? Let's find out.
All right. And do you know that he voluntarily gave up his phone so it could be searched?
Yes, sir. I was with you.
All right. And do you know that he voluntarily let them search, I believe, his truck, right?
His truck and the HHR. Yes, sir. I was with him.
All right. So in terms of whether or not he's a flight risk, he's not a flight risk. This is somebody who's cooperating with the police. He's not saying, I'm not cooperating, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then as far as safety to the community, to my understanding, he has no prior felony history. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then as far as the future safety of the victim, well, in this case, the victim is deceased, right?
Yes, sir.
But in terms of him being dangerous or aggressive, do you know him to be that way?
No, sir.
And how would you describe his character and how would you describe his personality?
He's a nurturer. He's very attentive. If I have a hair out of place, he's gonna put it back in your face. Baby, let me fix it for you. He took care of my dad 7 days a week. I had to go to work. He would get up in the middle of the night and go take care of my dad. When I was sick, when I had back surgery, when I had a stroke, he was there by my side. He took care of me.
So the long and short of it is, with a $1 million bond, is it your position that $1 million bond for a man that made basically $2,600 last year for the entire year would be oppressive?
Yes.
The $1 million bond in essence is really no bond at all, because he wouldn't be able to make that kind of bond.
No, sir.
Now, with your help and with the help of family members, so you said that you work at
I work for the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
right, the Federal Bureau of Prisons. When talking to those two bondsmen, did y'all talk about a bond, let's say, of about $100,000 maybe?
They were open. Yeah, she told me what it would be. It's 10% no matter whatever the bond is set at.
So if the bond is set at, $100,000 or $50,000 or something like that, would that be something a little bit more manageable?
It'd be hard, but I would do it because I know my husband is innocent, but I would do it. It would be hard because I have to pay for you as an attorney, pay for an investigator to prove my husband's innocence when it's already been said. But it would be hard, but I would do it because he don't deserve to be there.
Okay, so in this particular case, you said to prove his innocence, you believe this is an actual case of innocence, is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Now, I know with future safety of the victim as a condition or a factor in determining bond, to your knowledge, did your husband and Denisha Buckner have any kind of relationship prior to 1/8/25?
No, sir. I was told that he met her. She did his hair. That's the only reason he met her. He was looking for someone to do his hair. Prior to that, no.
Okay, so in terms of future safety, whether or not he's a danger to the community and his ties to the community, all he knew this lady from is basically doing hair, right?
Yes.
And that was more of a professional relationship.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So are you asking the judge today, and we'll get straight to the point, to lower that $1 million bond?
Yes, I am.
And are you asking her to lower it to a number of 100,000 or less, which is going to be tight on you, but that'll be something a little bit more manageable?
It's gonna be real tight, but yes, I promise whatever we would do whatever. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Judge, as far as the factor on the nature of the offense, my final witness, it would be Mr. Best, and he'll address that factor.
Thank you, ma'am. Hang on, Mr. Nichols, do you have any questions?
No, for this commission.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat.
All right.
You may call your next witness.
Notice how the defense is painting Norbert Frio as a family man, not a fugitive. These community ties aren't just small talk, they're legal gold when arguing for a lower bond, but will emotion outweigh the charge of murder?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
If you'll please raise your right hand, do you swear from the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
All right, would you state your full name for the record?
Brandon Bess, B-E-S-S.
And I'm quite sure a judge already knows you, so just very briefly, just tell me about what you do and about yourself.
I'm now a private investigator for the firm PPI Security out of Houston. We're a group of retired Texas Rangers and others in the firm, but the active officers in our firm, myself included, are all retired Rangers. I served 10 years as a Texas Ranger, 8 years as a criminal intelligence agent, and 10 years as a highway patrolman. Prior to that, I had almost 2 years law enforcement and an associate's degree from Kilgore College.
All right, so I'm quite sure you've testified at bond hearings before, and the factors are flight risk, safety to the community, nature of the offense, future safety to the victim, ties to the community, ability to pay. As I told the judge, your main focus here is the nature of the offense, all right?
Yes.
So how were you contacted and brought for your assistance on this case? Tell me what happened.
You contacted me regarding the case. You didn't have any information at the time. Mr. Adams didn't. The case had not been indicted, so we didn't have discovery at that point. The case after my firm was retained by Mr. Adams and Norbert's family, Mr. Norbert was indeed indicted, so we've received discovery, at least partial discovery, which has allowed me to do some analysis of the case.
All right, and in doing your analysis of this case, tell tell me, what did you discover based upon your investigation?
So the most important parts that I've been able to go over, and this is we've been on this case a very short time. I've been able to interview Mr. Norbert, Mr. Freelow, and as well as review the videos. There are 4 videos that were given to us by the District Attorney's Office, Port Arthur PD, as well as the autopsy report, written police report, search warrant affidavits. Again, some of these have been partial, including the autopsy report at this time, but I was able to use and review all those to come up with at least my initial assessment of the case.
Okay, and I'm quite sure the court already has the probable cause affidavit in this case, because normally it's attached in the file, and I'm quite sure the judge has probably read that. But let's deal with that real quick, because that goes to the nature of the offense. Obviously, this is a serious offense because you have an alleged murder, right?
Yes.
And you have an alleged woman, Denisha Buckner, who at least when she was brought to the hospital and Shanzi had called in, they thought that this was a drug overdose case, right?
That is correct.
And they get to the hospital and discover what appears to be a bullet wound into her side, right?
Yes.
So from that, here's where we can get straight to the chase, all right? Straight to the court. Do you believe this is a case of actual innocence?
I do.
Right? And when we have a case of actual innocence and he has $1 million bond, would that go to you asking the court at least to consider a personal recognizance bond, maybe consider one?
I wouldn't have any in my interview with Mr. Freelow, with the family, the contact that I've had with the family. I would absolutely have no issue.
This is where the courtroom reality hits hard. Freedom has a price tag, and when your annual income barely touches $2,600, even a reduced bond can be a lifetime away. The defense is building sympathy, but will the judge buy it?
With the court, or requesting the court, I don't know. I hadn't been in this business very long. I don't think that a personal recognizance bond with Mr. Freelow should be out of the question.
So let's get straight to it. We have a short 3-minute video, and what you did is, judge has read the probable cause affidavit, right?
Yes, sir.
So how they made their case, and just me summarizing, getting straight to the point. From her just reading the probable cause affidavit, they look at surveillance video at Normandy apartment, right?
Yes.
Then they also look at some ring cameras, which would be at Normandy apartment, right?
Correct.
So the surveillance video, they see a vehicle that was allegedly driven by my client come to that apartment early that morning, leaves, a period of time elapses, they come back, right? And then my client leaves again, leaving the deceased at Normandy Apartments, right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And what we have done to establish actual innocence in this case is you have cut all of that footage down to a very small amount of time for the judge to be able to see. Is that right?
Actually, what we did, Your Honor, the ring cameras are very short videos. It's, I guess, every time the door opened and closed, etc., as well as the surveillance video that Port Arthur PD and the District Attorney's Office provided. Actually, we can click that down to a short and basically show the timeline of when Miss D got out of his car, walked in. I think we can pretty much show the entire elapsed time to give you the time frame and how I came up with my assessment so far.
And do you have that here?
I do.
So basically we can take about 3 minutes of the court time and just show that video. It's not gonna be long.
I won't lie to the judge, probably 6 minutes.
Okay, well, at the most. Can you poke, please?
I can.
Judge, I'm going to object to this summation of the evidence at this point. This is a bond hearing, and the idea is to decide if you need to lower his bond or not. With all due respect to Mr. Best's qualifications and Mr. Adams' arguments, they're just giving their opinion on what the evidence shows, and it's incomplete at this point. I object to that.
I think the testimony from Investigator Best is probably what I need. I think I'm going to, I think I wouldn't, if he wanted to do the same the other way, you would object to putting together what they wanted to present to me to show actual guilt. So, I mean, I'm going to sustain that objection.
Okay, so how about this then? The reason that we believe, without showing the video at all, let's say we don't play the video at all,
Yes,
all
sir.
right? Without looking at the video at all, okay, the theory of the state's case is that she was shot in the car by Mr. Freelo. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Why are you telling the judge that if we go by the state's theory, that would be impossible? You tell us why.
From the experience that I've had in homicide investigation, as well as 32 years in law enforcement, I've never seen, and I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not attempting to testify to the court that I'm an expert in anything about how long someone can live with a gunshot wound. However, what I saw in that video, I do not believe, based on the unenhanced video that I've seen, that a gunshot occurred in that car, despite some other evidence that is there. I believe that the victim in this case was extremely intoxicated. I do not believe, based on all the homicide investigations that I've conducted, that that intoxication would have.
He voluntarily gave his phone his truck, even cooperated with police. That's not what you expect from someone trying to hide guilt, but cooperation doesn't always equal innocence. What do you think? Is he genuinely transparent or just smartly strategic?
Trumped, for lack of a better term, the extensive injuries that she had internally to be able to survive what appears to be 20 to 25 minutes before falling out. I also believe her, literally collapsing. I also believe that there's evidence that is on that video that would suggest that the shooting occurred quite some time after Mr. Freelo dropped her off, after the altercation in his car, that there was another altercation that occurred with the victim in this case, that she was in a fight with someone at this apartment complex after she was dropped off, and that even in one of these videos, Ms. Shanzi and he talked about shots being fired on the camera. They thought they heard gunshots shortly before she's inside the apartment that was not searched, that was never searched. One of the crime scenes, I guess I should say, was never searched in this, which I feel is where this crime actually occurred.
So
I think that's good. I get it. All right. Anything else?
that's basically.
Okay.
what I
Any
want.
questions? Any cross?
Some of the other evidence that Port Arthur Police relied on in reaching their conclusion is the presence of gunshot residue in his car and on the deceased. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
So why, in your opinion, would that be meaningless for this?
Well,
particular-
here's the thing. It's a bail hearing.
Gotcha.
Most of this is going to be for a jury or for y'all to hash out. For purposes of the bail hearing, I think I've got where you're coming from, where the state's coming from, and so I can go on just that. All right. Thank you,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Any other witnesses, Mr.
Just-
Adams?
Those are just my two witnesses.
Sir, you can step back in front. Mr. Nichols, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nichols, what is the state's position with regard to bond reduction?
Your Honor, he's charged with murder, and I think $1 million is appropriate to protect the community. The notion that a $100,000 or lower bond is appropriate in a murder case, I don't believe that to be true. I don't think it protects the citizens of Jefferson County adequately, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Adams, final argument?
Just my argument is that for a man that made $2,600 last year, and he's unemployed now, and his wife is making ends meet as a correctional officer, $1 million bond is basically a no bond at all for him in his particular circumstances. And Your Honor, what we're arguing is that as far as actual innocence, it is not probable that a lady, after being shot in a car, can walk.
But here's the thing, for bond purposes, an
just-
actual innocent, that's a jury question. If you want me to start thinking about that, then we're gonna have a trial with everybody here, right? I mean, I understand that that's your position. Obviously, the state's position, I'm not gonna let them get into every single thing they want to about the facts of the case. I understand that will be your position at a trial if that's where we
Yes,
get.
ma'am.
But I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, sounds like somebody's innocent when I've heard 10 minutes.
Well, what I would do is just address the other factors then, such as, to my understanding, and with the testimony of his wife, he has no prior felony history at all. As far as his ties to the community, I have plenty of people here from the community and plenty references. So would there be an alternate means? You have electronic monitoring, you have house confinement, ankle monitor, etc. Your Honor, I was asking for a bond under $100,000, and that would be the reasons why.
Thank you, sir. All right, based on all of the evidence, for the record, I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit out of the court's file and take judicial notice of the entire court's file. Reviewed defense exhibits 1 through 5, the testimony, the position of the state. I am going to grant some relief in the case. I'm going to set bail in the amount of, let's see, one more thing I wanted to look at, hold on. I'm going to set bail at $750,000. Condition of that bond, if met, is house confinement with a GPS monitoring device. And we will get the case set for an announcement and move it along as quickly as everyone can get ready to do that. All right, you can go back with the bailiff.
And here it is, the game changer. A seasoned ex-Texas Ranger steps in, calling this a case of actual innocence. That's bold, but courtroom words mean nothing without proof. What will the video footage reveal next?